Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Transformers, or rather, not talk, let me have a little bit of a rant again, I suppose, about them. Don't worry, if you've seen my hate for Siege, I'm not exactly gonna rip into Transformers in this video, and the quality of them. It's more what Hasbro are failing to do. Yeah, so anyway, we'll get into it. But anyway, as you can see here, I've got Titans Return Overlord. Yeah, you know, Titans Return Overlord, he's cool. He's only just been released in the UK. This is like, what, a figure from about a year ago in the States? And he's only just been released in the UK. I mean, like, even the Transformers are so messed up in this country that the order that they come in, it's ridiculous. I mean, like, we're still on wave one of the Studio Series Deluxes, which I don't actually collect many of the Studio Series. The only one I've picked up from the Studio Series is the new Dark of the Moon Megatron, because that's kind of my favourite version of Megatron, and I just think it looked cool. But I've got that, and that's the only Studio Series figure I've got. If they release a Soundwave in the Studio Series, I'll probably get that, but yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this Titans Return figure only just released in the UK at Smith's Toys. For any UK fans that want to snatch up an Overlord. It isn't discounted, it's still, you know, it's full price, $44.99, unfortunately, for a figure that's a year old, technically, but I guess it's brand new here, so they're charging full price for it. But yeah, I mean, Hasbro UK or Hasbro Europe or whatever they're called, they absolutely are dreadful. They're so terrible. I mean, I don't really have any words to describe them, really. But yeah, they're not great. I mean, like, the problem is that there's only really one stockist of Transformers in the UK, and that place is Smith's Toys. Now, Smith's Toys are I guess, one of the main toy shops in the UK. I mean, there is the Entertainer, which is another toy shop or chain of toy shops in the UK, but I would say that Smith's have more, if that makes sense. So, my issue is that currently, like for the new Siege stuff, only the Wave 1 Deluxes and the Wave 1 Voyagers are available. No leaders anywhere, no Micromasters from what I've seen, and no Battle Masters anywhere. I've not seen them anywhere. And the problem is, like with your supermarkets, you know, your Asda's, your Sainsbury's, they only stock the really kiddie stuff, the really, you know, like the Cyberverse and the one-step changes, all that rubbish that most collectors don't really want. So it's kind of a problem, and Hasbro don't seem to really care. I mean, like, the lateness of this figure was ridiculous. But as far as the Micromasters and Battle Masters for Siege, I've not found anywhere that stocked them, because the Smith's Toy Superstores that I've been going on about, they only stock the Deluxe figures, the Voyager figures, and Leader figures, if they have the Leader figures in stock, which they're due in April, I believe. But I know that in the States they've been released like they always do, but it kind of really winds me up when people in the States seem to think that the UK and Europe tend to get things first, and I can tell you for definite that Transformers-wise, that certainly isn't the case. There was that one time, like in 2017, that we happened to get like a couple of Wave 2 figures before anywhere else, and that's like the only time throughout. That's like the only time in ever that has happened. I can't recall it happening previous to that. I mean, I might be wrong, but yeah, it does wind me up when people think that that the UK, will get loads of Transformers. If you look in the shops in the UK, or the stores, whatever you want to call them, in the UK, and you want Transformers, yeah, good luck finding what you want, because most of the time you get stuck with Wave 1 for about 6 months, if you're lucky to get to Wave 2 ever. And especially with Toys R Us shutting down, there's just no progress with Transformers whatsoever. It's a real problem, and it's got worse and worse in recent years. America did tend to get the stuff first, but gradually it shifted its way over. That's not happening anymore. Like, maybe, I don't know, a couple of months later. This figure, as I've said, is a year late. So, not great, really. Not great at all. Another thing that I guess, if you want me to say something positive about Transformers, I guess, like, for the Siege figures, the instruction sheets have improved. They've got better, because this isn't clear at all, but the instruction sheets for Siege are a lot better than they were here for, like, Titans Return and Combiner Wars and Power of the Primes, that sort of thing. So there's a positive. But for every positive, there tends to be a negative, and for me, I kind of miss these little bio cards that they include with the really nice, just drop it, with the really nice artwork that was on them. And then you flip it over, and there was all the tech specs on it, and then the added power that the Headmaster, or rather Titan Master, gave to the character. I missed the bio cards with the nice artwork. There is some really nice artwork for Siege, but it's on the packaging, and unfortunately for the blister cards, when you open the packaging, it kind of destroys some of that artwork. So it would be nice to either have, I don't know, a poster, or like just these little bio cards with the artwork on. It was really nice and appreciated. So it's a shame that they've omitted those, but again, I don't really think Hasbro care all that much, to be honest. What else is there to talk about? Yeah, just Transformers in the UK are not great. I don't really know what else to say about that. Like, for upcoming Transformer reviews, I haven't been doing them, and I've stated why in the Siege rant video that I did, that why not. It's because I don't think they're that great a quality, personally. I know everybody's raving about them, but I mean, like, for me personally, I can't feel much difference. Paint, granted, much better, but in terms of the actual plastic quality, I'm not feeling much different. It still feels kind of this cheap plastic. I mean, you've got the paint and stuff, and the which is a lot better, granted. You've not got all this sticker nonsense that you had with Titans Return, but even so, the actual plastic itself, it's a bit heavier, maybe. Well, not heavier, I think this is heavier, but overall, I think this is a more solid figure compared to that, but the actual plastic used doesn't feel that much better. It may be slightly better, but it isn't leaps and bounds better, in my opinion. I know everybody's saying, oh, this is like really, really solid, and which I guess it is, but the actual plastic material itself does not, to me, feel much better. It may be slightly better, as I've said, but it doesn't feel much better. And in terms of upcoming reviews, there's probably one that I will do. I know that's contradicting myself and saying that I wasn't going to review Transformers until they got better, but there's only one review, or potentially two reviews, but I'll probably do it all in one video, to be honest. And that's when I finally get Siege Soundwave, because, of course, it's Soundwave. I will probably review him just because it's him, and along with him I'll review these two guys here. You know, these aren't bad, but anyway, if I do a review on them, you know, you'll hear my thoughts about those then. And again, like, the way I obtained these was through you know, Kapow Toys and places like that. You can't just walk into a toy store and see these, or, well, you can now. If you go into Smith's, you can see the Overlord, but you cannot get not that, that's not an Micromaster. You cannot get this. You can't even get Wave 1. Never mind Wave 2, you can't even get Wave 1 Micromasters in UK stores. It's not good, and that's basically the reason that Hasbro UK suck, and they just don't seem to care. So thank you for listening to my bit of a rant here. If you live in the UK, you know, let me know what you think about the situation regards Transformers not making the way over here. I mean, this was ridiculous, but yeah. So let me know what you think. If you live in the States, I'd be interested to know what you think as well, because I know the States is massive, but particularly in like North America, there's a lot more Transformers available than there is here. I'll put it that way. That's definite, for sure. I know there's places that will get it before other places, but there's like nowhere in the UK that gets like new Transformers. It just doesn't happen. If that makes any sense. I know what I mean, but yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know whether you like the video. I mean, like the dislikes on the video for the Siege stuff that I was ranting about and ripping into. Nobody seemed to like that, because like I said, everybody seems to like these Siege figures except me. But yeah, so let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more videos. I do Lego videos and things like that as well, and Lego's kind of where I'm at the moment, because Transformers aren't really doing it for me that much. But yeah, so thanks for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.